Okay, so I am going to now look at lesson 4 in module 1, and we are going to be exploring the equation mats again, but also just simple equations as well, where we can either use the e-tool or you guys can actually solve them without the e-tool, depending on what they're asking for in that first one. So in here, this explore is what I'm going to use to first look at them. It does say to represent these on an equation mat using an e-tool. So we're going to do that. We're going to look at this first one. So to use an e-tool, I'm again going to open CPM. So you can do it one of two ways. I could go here to one of the links that I have here just to get it open. I had a couple open already, but that's one way to do it, just to show you how to navigate easily. The next thing I'm going to do is go to e-tool and down to tiles, and I'm going to choose my background. So the background, I want to use an equation mat 2, because remember, this one doesn't have the plus and minus, so I don't want that one. I want this one. This is the equation mat that we use. These are like big equal signs because that's what we have here. This is what it looks like. Okay, so now I'm going to actually pop back. I'm going to pull this one off, and we're going to look at what they want me to build in the lesson. So I'm going to go back to Schoology. And this is the lesson that or the first one that I'm going to look at, building this one on an equation mat. Okay, let me adjust my windows just a little bit here. Get all set up. There we go. So now this is nice and pretty. So I need to now go down to algebra tiles so that I have access to these. This one, when I build it, I have 3 x's. So I'm going to go 1, they're positive, 2, 3, and then I have plus 4. So I'm going to add 4 of these. I actually didn't need the negative side for this one, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now over here, I have, again, an x and a plus 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, lots of them, 7, and 8. Okay, so one thing we haven't talked about, and yesterday I wanted you guys to kind of solve them paper pencil for you to see them that way. I'm going to talk about something else that you can do with these. So we have in here 3x plus 4 is equal to x, and then I have my plus 8. What I can do is I can also move them over here. Now, when I do that, think about what that would look like on paper. It would be like subtracting an x, right? So if I move across this way, I can go ahead and flip. And look at there. Now these cancel. This is another way to do this. So I'm going to take those away from there. I usually just drag them out here. So now I have my x's over here, and if I'm thinking about doing this again conceptually, then what I could do is actually move all of these over here to this side to see what I have. So I'm going to do that. 1, 2. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to flip them, right? 1, 2, 3, flip, and 4, flip. And now I can get rid of 4 of these blue ones also. Okay, so now I can get rid of 4 blue ones and 4 red ones because these right here will cancel each other out. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to really quickly take the moment to do that, get rid of them here so that we are left with 2x is equal to 4. 2x equals 4. Well, that's pretty easy to solve from here. So you can see I got it all the way down to this right here, 2x plus 4. That's where I would probably go over to a piece of paper because there's not really anything else I can simplify here. And I would put 2x equals 4. So to solve for x, I'm going to divide by 2. And I get x equals 2. X equals 2. I would always, like I've suggested before, plug that into the original just to make sure that I've done it correctly. So the original was 3x plus 4 is equal to x plus 8. It's very important to take this extra step because then you know that you got it right. And it just takes a minute extra to really check to make sure that you've done it correctly. Okay. This is 6 plus 4, so I get 10 over here, is equal to 2 plus 8, which is 10 there. And I know now that that is for sure my answer. Okay, moving on to the next one. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll erase this. So a way to do it is to go up to this little pen here and say clear tiles. So I'm going to clear all my tiles. let me make this a little bigger. Well, actually for my next example I will, but so here's the next one. I'm going to build this on an equation mat over here in B. I'm going to do a 4 on this side. I'm going to do a 4, positive 4. So those are up here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. But then I have a negative 2y. There's a couple ways to do that. If I brought those up here and I wanted to, I could flip them, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put them on the negative side, negative 2y. Now on this side, I have a positive y and then 10 of these little guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So now I've represented that over here. Okay, so now I have all this exactly represented over here. So now I'm going to start my manipulation of these. I'm going to move these up and make them negative, like that. And that's pretty much all I can do because there's nothing to simplify over here. So now I'm going to start moving stuff over here like we talked about. I'm going to bring my y's over here. You can actually do it either way, but I'm going to bring my y's over here. If I bring, actually, you know what? Just to make it different than last time, I'm going to move it back. Okay, this is what we started with. I'm going to move these y's over here and make them positive, just to show you that you are definitely able to do that. So I'm going to make those positive. But now I'm going to take all these right here and move them over here and flip them as I move them. And remember, there are 10 of them. 3, flip, 4, flip. Flip the sign because I'm moving them over there. It's really like subtracting 10 from the other side. And then we will start to simplify that. Okay, so now I know that 4 of these right here are going to cancel out those. So I'm going to go ahead and take them out. And what I am left with from here is this right there. That's as simple as it gets. So I have negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this side. So now I'm going to go to paper here. And I have negative 6. And then I have equals. And these are positive. So positive 3y. Well, now I'm going to divide by 3. Divide by 3. And I get y is equal to negative 2. Y is equal to negative 2. I, again, would always check it in here. So that's what I'm going to do next. This is a very important step that students often forget, and then they have the wrong answer. There's no reason to ever have the wrong answer on these problems. So when you guys take your quiz this week, you'll want to make sure that you always are checking, because there's really no reason to ever get equation ones incorrect. So I have 4 and then minus a negative 4. So that's going to be plus 4. And then you have negative 2 plus 10. This side is 8, this side is 8, and I am good. This was the correct answer, negative 2. So that shows you how to do it this way. So if it says represent these on an equation mat with an e-tool, that's what you're going to do. You're going to take a picture of this right here, and you are going to, or you could actually leave it this way so that I can see that you can build it right from the beginning. It's up to you. I actually will accept either. You can have the simplified version before you go on to this, or you can take a picture of it just like this, but then show me how you've arrived at your answer on a piece of paper as well. Okay, we're gonna do just a couple more really quick, just so you guys can see. I'm gonna actually go to this lesson really quick, and this is what we are looking at. So we're gonna look at 67 right here. So on this one, we have this represented. We are going to go ahead and solve this one. So if you are given an equation mat, this is a great opportunity to use it. I am going to, again, make sure nothing cancels out. It doesn't look like I have anything canceling within the individual boxes. So I'm going to start moving everything to the positive so that I can see it better. So I'm going to move that up. I'm going to move that up and switch it. I'm going to move this one up and switch it. I'm going to move this one up and switch it. And when I do that, I'm immediately going to get rid of one of each of those because those cancel. I'm going to do the same over here. So I'm going to move these here, here, and here. And I'm going to decide, actually, I'll make the decision. I'm going to move these ones over here and move the numbers over here. So I'm gonna move this over, flip it. I'm gonna move this over, flip it. I don't like when they touch, okay? I'll start canceling these out in a minute, but I wanna get the ones out of the way. And I'm gonna move and flip, move and flip, move and flip, move and flip, and move and flip. Again, remember that's really just like subtracting 5 from over here. Okay, these two cancel. Okay, so those two cancel, and let's say those two, they go away, right? So I'm gonna ditch them. And what I end up with, oh, and I have some canceling going on over here too. So like those will cancel, those will cancel, those will cancel. Okay, so let me get rid of them really quick and throw them off the mat. What I'm left with is a negative x is equal to a negative 2. So now I'm gonna go to pen and paper because there's really not much I can do there. So if I have a negative x is equal to a negative 2, what I'm gonna do is divide by negative 1 because I want x, not a negative x. So I divide by negative 1. And I end up getting that x is equal to 2. I'm again gonna go ahead and check that in the original. So let me go back to the CPM book right here. And, oh, it doesn't look like I have an original. So in this one, they actually didn't even give me an original equation, but x equals 2. So I could make sure that it makes sense in here. I could go back into the original tool to double check myself, but in this one, they actually didn't give me the equation. Okay, so that right there is how we use these, again, to simplify them within the actual equation. So let me go ahead and do number 68 now because it's a little, whoops, I'm sorry, 69 now. I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna do kind of a more complicated one. I'm gonna look at D and I'm gonna build one more of these for you guys to see them. It does have K's, but I'm gonna change it, and I purposely wanna do this one so that you can see that it doesn't really make a difference if it's a K or an X. So I'm gonna go back up to here. I'm gonna hit clear tiles. I have this mat. I'm gonna build this equation in D. Let me reduce it a little bit. I'm gonna build it into this mat. I'm actually gonna switch sides here really quick so that you guys can see it better. There we go. So I'm going to build on this side of the mat. I'm gonna build the negative 2. So I'm gonna choose to put those here, okay? Minus, so negatives. I'm also gonna put 3 x's over here in the negative, but that's, again, that's my preference. I could instead put 3 x's up here and put them negative, but I'm gonna just stick with the whole negatives, go down below. So same with this. So 2 more negatives down here. Okay, on this side, I have a negative 2k, but again, remember I'm using the x's because I'm not gonna change the variable here. I could actually change it here to k if I wanted to. I could, just so you can see if you guys would rather do that, you can use k instead of x, but you don't need to do this. And then I have plus 8, so I'm gonna throw those 8 up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so there's my 8, and then I have a minus k, and minus another k. So I'll move that here. Okay, so now I want to simplify. Well, there's nothing that cancels yet. So what I'm gonna do is start moving and flipping everything to the positive. Okay, so I move and flip, 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 move and flip. I'm gonna do the same here. So move and flip, move and flip, and move and flip. Okay, so again, nothing's canceling out that I see here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna move these over here, the K's over here, and flip them. Ooh, I already see something interesting. And at the same time, I'm gonna move the numbers over here. Think about what we do when we do an equation, even on paper. That's exactly what we do. We move the values here, and then we move the ones there. Okay, so now what happens here is these actually all cancel out. Those all cancel out. So let me go ahead and get rid of them like we've been doing. Toss them away. And what we are left with is 0 on this side. I have nothing on this side, nada. 0 is equal to, and over here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 0 equals 12. That is actually false. That's a false statement. So what that means is there are actually no solutions. There are no solutions to this equation. Okay, there's nothing that would make this true right here. Not a single value for k would ever make that true. Okay, so today if they ask you to build an equation mat, you're going to be going into here, you'll build the equation mat, you will take a picture of it, you can take it in simplified form, or I will also allow if you are building it in this form, either one is fine with me. And after that, I want to see mathematically how you solved it. Good luck.